Chechen dictator Ramzan Kadyrov, amid reports of severe illness and speculation about his future, said he has personally asked Vladimir Putin to relieve him of his duties, the pro-government outlet Chechnya Sagodnya wrote. Kadyrov said someone else would supposedly have their own initiatives and their own vision. He also expressed hope that his request would be supported. Later, Kadyrov walked back the statement, saying he doesn't decide whether he stays in office and that only Putin can make that call, according to the pro-Kremlin outlet RBC. The Telegram channel Astra noted that Kadyrov made similar statements in 2022, 2017, and 2016, none of which were accepted. In 2015, when he again asked Putin to remove him from office, Kadyrov said in an interview with the radio station Govorit Moskva that it was already his 21st such request. On May 5th, Novaya Gazeta Europe reported that Kadyrov was preparing a transition of power in Chechnya and had named his underage son Adam as his successor. In 2024, the same outlet said Kadyrov had been suffering for more than 5 years from pancreatic necrosis, a condition with a reported 80% mortality rate. Journalists believe his illness is progressing. Although Kadyrov has tried to conceal his declining health with increased public appearances, he has lately vanished from public view for extended periods. In March, the Russian investigative outlet Vazhny Istory reported that Kadyrov had clashed with the Kremlin over negotiations with foreign countries concerning the security of his assets and family. According to the report, as his health deteriorated, Kadyrov tried to negotiate behind the Kremlin's back with Muslim leaders abroad. But Russia's intelligence services found out and informed Putin. However, Novaya Gazeta Europe reported that claims of a conflict between Kadyrov and Putin were untrue. Citing its sources, the outlet said the Kremlin was using Kadyrov's ties in the Middle East to hold talks with Qatar, which could influence Syria's future government and help Russia retain its military bases in the country. Colonel Abdulaziz Shekhabadov, commander of Russia's 76th Air Assault Pskov Division, has died and was buried in Moscow on May 5th. Independent Russian outlet Agentstvo reported on May 6th. According to the journalists, several schools in Shekhabadov's native Dagestan held memorials for the colonel. Lyceum No. 13 in Kaspiysk opened a commemorative display dedicated to Shekhabadov, and after-school memorial events were held for students in grades 7 to 9 at boarding school No. 3 in Buynaksk. Propaganda groups on Russian social media, VKontakte, reported that Shekhabadov was buried at Moscow's Troyekurovskoye Cemetery on May 5th. Russian dictator Vladimir Putin appointed Shekhabadov to lead the Pskov Division on March 10, 2025, promoting him from deputy commander of the same unit. Before Russia's full-scale invasion of Ukraine, Shekhabadov fought in Georgia and Syria. Earlier, the Ukrainian Prosecutor General's office reported that forces from the 76th Air Assault Division had fought against Ukraine since 2014. Following the 2022 invasion, they occupied Kyiv Oblast and committed atrocities in Bucha. Ukrainian investigators also alleged that in December 2023, service members from the 76th Air Assault Division executed 3 Ukrainian prisoners of war near Robotyne in Zaporizhzhia Oblast. U.S. Army soldiers have voiced concerns over the new 6.8 by 51mm XM7 rifle developed by Sig Sauer, citing issues with reliability, excessive wear, and design flaws. The criticism, reported by the War Zone, is based on comments from Army Captain Braden Trent and observations during live fire exercises. According to Trent, the rifle experiences premature barrel wear and repeated failures of key components, calling into question its suitability for combat deployment. Based on feedback from soldiers who used the weapon during field exercises, he concluded that XM7 is currently unfit for operational use. Trent compared XM7 to the Army's standard-issue M4A1, focusing on combat weight, which includes the rifle, loaded magazine, and attached accessories. He states that M4A1 weighs around 3.8 kilograms, while XM7 reaches up to 6.9 kilograms, nearly double. He also claimed that the XM7's barrel was 13 inches long compared to the 14.5-inch barrel of M4A1. However, official Army specifications contradict this, listing the XM7 barrel at 15.3 inches, which is even longer than the 14.5-inch barrel of M4A1. The source of the 6.9-kilogram figure remains unclear. Army data show XM7 weighs 3.8 kilograms unloaded and 4.4 kilograms with a suppressor, excluding the weight of optics and ammunition. A loaded 20-round magazine and XM157 optical sight add weight. National Guard Specialist Turner Horton, drawing on Trent's research, noted that XM7 rifle was required to fire projectiles at speeds exceeding 900 meters per second. Achieving this velocity with a shorter barrel requires more powerful ammunition, which increases chamber pressure. This, in turn, contributes to accelerated component wear and can result in casing ruptures, a potential hazard for the operator. Based on a survey of more than 150 service members, technical personnel, and commanders, as well as an inspection of 23 XM7 samples, Trent identified several additional issues. The most common was the appearance of scratches in the barrels after approximately 2,000 rounds. These marks were found 4 inches from the muzzle or 1 inch behind the gas block, areas critical to both accuracy and firing safety. Trent also flagged the rifle's charging handle, which requires a full rearward pull to operate, as problematic under combat conditions. Additionally, there were 3 reported cases in which the suppressor locking ring failed, as the component could be broken by hand, rendering the suppressor unusable. Another concern involved the ambidextrous magazine release system. During field use, it reportedly caught on other equipment, causing the magazine to drop unexpectedly. Overall, XM7 is heavier, bulkier, produces greater recoil, and has a smaller magazine capacity, 20 rounds compared to 30 in M4A1. In most combat engagements, which typically occur within 300 meters, the XM7's extended range and penetration capabilities offer limited tactical advantage, Trent said. He cited a training scenario in which his platoon was tasked with providing suppressive fire. After just 10 minutes of engagement, his unit had nearly exhausted its ammunition supply. Sig Sauer representatives Jason St. John and Joshua Shoemaker rejected Trent's criticisms, stating that he had not consulted the company or the Army's program office. St. John said Trent had misunderstood the key aspects of the next-generation squad weapon program and dismissed claims about excessive chamber pressure and casing ruptures. He also assured that there had not been cases of cartridge case ruptures, and all potential risks were checked through rigorous testing, including tests for clogging the barrel bore. Trent's claims regarding the XM7's magazine release issues were described as outdated. According to Sig Sauer, the relevant component has already been modified under the Army's ongoing change process. Allegations that the charging handle could break off were also dismissed. The company says such failures stem from improper training when transitioning from other weapons platforms. Sig Sauer representative Jason St. John rejected criticisms of the rifle's side-mounted charging handle, arguing that the dual handle configuration offers added flexibility rather than posing a design flaw. He also says he was unaware of any verified issues related to the suppressor's locking ring. The company stated that the XM7's barrel life exceeded 10,000 rounds, double the threshold set by the Army. Sig Sauer acknowledged that the system remained in development and would continue to be refined in response to operational feedback over the coming decades.
Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe. Also, if you want to support Warthog Defense, please become our member and get early access to new videos, exclusive members-only videos, and become administrator in comment section. The membership link is in the description.
Rescues every day. We had a guy last week, it's 6 rescues in 6 days. You know, he's doing the job every day.